Do you know what I like to do before I start my weekend? I like to look at some baseball cards. So I stumbled on this auction. 1981 Topps Nolan Ryan sold for just under $7,000 because it had a 10 on it from PSA. I'm like, that's insane. I'm seeing beautiful 1938 Gaudy Joe DiMaggio's for nearly half that price. This hobby's lost its mind. That was the first factory set I ever bought, was 1981 Topps. You know, I have all those sets. Maybe it's worth it to pay the $10,000 to get them all graded. If you get a few tens and can sell them for $7,000 each. Who would ever think to do that? Hobby's lost its mind. $7,000. That card used to be like $1. It's all about the grade. It's all about that grade. A 9, I think the price for a 9 is $175, which still seems a bit high to me, but the price differential, if you get special treatment or that grader was in a good mood that day, can be the difference between $7,000 and $175, and you don't think grading is a scam? Insanity. So I have these old Advil Nolan Ryan cards. Hey, maybe I should send them all in. Maybe they get tens. You could sell them for $10,000, $20,000. That's what it's all about, baby. I need to make a correction on a recent video I did. I showed this card, and I mistakenly said that it was from 1927. And Dan's Vintage Cards let me know that it was from 1923. I had been looking. I have these two sets together. This set and my W560 set from 1927. I have them together, and I was looking at both of the Babe Ruths. And I was doing that right before I made the video, and I had that set on my mind as I showed this one. And I hate when I do that. I hate saying the wrong year, so I wanted to correct it. It's 1923, which actually makes it a better year for a Babe Ruth. But anyway, this set is rare. These cards are rare. They were cut off, presumably strip cards. So I figured, why not show you the rest from that set before I show you the other stuff. Here is a Ty Cobb, Tris Speaker. I'm working on this set, which would make it really cool to complete since it's so rare. Pie Trainer. Here's Jesse Barnes, and I believe he was one of the pitchers on that fastest game in history. Back in the 20s, it was like an hour and 20 minutes or something. It was an insanely fast game. And this Bob Veach. These three here I got years ago. And at the time, I got them for next to nothing. But, it was before Pop Reports. We had no idea how rare these were. And, of course, they're little black and white cutouts, so not everybody's into that sort of thing. So I got them cheap, probably 2021-ish. 2001-ish or 2002-ish, somewhere in there. But there's the Grover Cleveland Alexander, Frankie Frisch, and Joe Bush. Those were the first three I ever got. Still remember them. Wilbur Cooper that I just showed you. That's the one that sparked that. Here's the Ray Grimes. Beautiful card. Joe Judge. I have some new holders coming, so I'm going to be reholdering some of these. Tom Zachary. And, of course, he gave up Babe Ruth's number 60 in 1927. And here is Bibb Falk. You don't see a whole lot of cards of him. So I thought I'd show those, correct myself. Man, I got this fabulous, fabulous, beautiful card. Huey Jennings, 1916, Tango Eggs. This is a little work of art. This is one of the more common ones from the set, but the Bob, what's his name, Bescher? That's the most common one you see by far. That card's everywhere. But this is a pretty common card too. So this is only my second Tango Eggs. I showed you guys a while back, well, picked up the Buck Weaver, which is a unique card because it has an image of Joe Tinker on it. Here's an old Panini sticker, 1991. Michael Jordan I came across when I was going through my basketball cards. I thought I'd show it to you. I believe these were issued in Spain or Italy. That's where most of these were issued back in the day before they started making the cards we're familiar with now. They were just overseas. But a cool sticker you may not be familiar with. I believe it's a sticker. And I just did a, my last Mangini letter was on the 1947 Bond bread cards and sports subject cards. Sports Star subject cards, as I now refer them to. I did a deep dive into them, kept going down rabbit holes and new discoveries. But anyway, I picked up a Joe Louis from that set. Glad to have that. They had 4 boxers in there. The other big one is Jake LaMotta, the Raging Bull. This is a low pop card. This is a 1967 Cons. I think PSA is graded something like 41 of them, of Willie Stargell. There's you can cut here and cut here is how it was intended. And there's actually PSA's only ever graded 1 with the advertisement. And I believe they don't specify, but I believe with the bottom portion. Can't remember what that looks like if I ever saw it at all. And showed this player recently, the first black player ever drafted in NFL history. And that's a beauty, 1950 Bowman. Some random cards. I reholdered this. Big Ed Walsh. Of course, he's the last pitcher to win 40 games. I believe he won 41. And he has the lowest career ERA in history. And I've always kind of been fascinated with him. Would get his cards any chance I got. Random card just pulled out to show you guys. Really cool 1974 Cecil Cooper. Solid player. A cool card. '52 Bowman, Bob Lemon. And I've been collecting these J.D. McCarthy postcards. If you watch my channel, you're aware of that. And I got a Willie Mays in a Mets uniform. So this is probably 72. J.D. McCarthy. Now this is a J.D. McCarthy postcard, and I'm not sure what this is exactly. This is an earlier one. It has a facsimile autograph, not a real autograph. It's just a copy. And it doesn't say J.D. McCarthy on the back, but it does have down here, I think. So, yeah. So I don't know what this is exactly, if it was copied. But what's cool about this is it was a postcard that was actually mailed. And it's postmarked 1972. So, I mean, he looks in an older uniform, I'm assuming. I don't think that's from 72 or 71. But I could be wrong. Does anybody know anything about these? I've never seen a J.D. McCarthy postcard that's a blank back, but it's certainly possible. And I don't know if this was intended to mail or not. It doesn't say postcard. But it's pretty cool. Maybe I should send this to this person, to this address in Virginia, and see if their relatives are still there. Interesting piece, so I grabbed it. For my J.D. McCarthy postcard collection. Now, if any of you happen to know anything about this, please let me know. So that's what I have for you. I gotta go send all my 80 sets off to PSA. What would that be? Something like 70, 80,000. What is it? About $10,000 a set. 700 and some cards. I don't know. I haven't done the math. Wait, that's more than that. So if it's 20, okay, so 700 cards times $10 is 7,000, and it's $20 a card, so that's 14,000. So and there's more than 700 in those sets, so yeah, a little over 14,000 to grade the set. But then you get to, man, if you get some tens, oh, gotta make that bank. You're gonna make that bank. Wonder how much shipping is on all of those. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm done messing around.